Get a free CGB Shark token when you use the promo code CGB5 at checkout on any order at CoolStuffInc.com. That's promo code CGB5 at CoolStuffInc.com, and a big thank you to them for sponsoring my channel. You're cool. Hello, and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and I'm coming to you with everybody's favorite, a control deck. And this time, we're dipping into 3 colors in Standard 2022 with Esper Control. Esper Control gives you a little bit of all the things that make Control beautiful and glorious. It has an awesome 2-mana removal spell in Vanishing Verse that actually exiles the opponent's stuff. That is freaking sweet. It also gives you access to counter spells like Saw It Coming, solid removal spells like Soul Shatter, Behold the Multiverse being a great card drawer, Doomscar being probably the best sweeper since there isn't that much indestructible around, the top end spell of choice, Alrund's Epiphany, and a Professor Onyx along with 2 Mordenkainen. We also get the best learn card, which is Professor of Sim Blah Blah Blah. Professor of Sim Blah 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 coming at a decent rate for a 2/1 body and get another card out of the sideboard. So Esper Control is designed here to be a combination of all the kind of good-ish control stuff in the set that's going on and see if we can take over. All it's missing is Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, isn't it? I would play Kaya. Kaya, I think, is a really good planeswalker for the deck, but the only thing to put the ghost form counters on is the Professor of Sim Blah Blah Blah. So if we somehow had a few more and better creatures to put the ghost counters on, maybe there would be a different version of this. But this is old school, kind of slow burn, grindy creature control. I love that there is so much foretell going on. There are like 24 things to do on turn 2, so you'll almost never have to skip turn 2 unless you have 2 tap lands. You can always foretell an Epiphany, a Doomscar, Behold the Multiverse, or Saw It Coming, or you can start interacting with Vanishing Verse or get something on the board with the Professor. In the Learn board, we've got 2 Environmental Sciences, a Teaching of the Archaics, an Intro to Prophecy, and 3 Mascot Exhibitions. I've just gotten away from things like Necrotic Fumes, those removal spells. It seems like when you go for those, it rarely works out. I'm going to focus on my deck to do the removing, and my sideboard to be about kind of card advantage and eventually grinding out the opponent with mascots. And then in the deck here, we've got 2 Glacial Floodplains and 4 Snowfield Sinkholes to help fix the mana as dual lands, 2 Hall of the Storm Giants as an alternate win con, and then the rest is Pathways and Basics to try to keep the mana a little smooth and have something to fetch with Environmental Sciences. So, will this be a good Esper control deck for the meta? It can grind. You really want to set up every turn Alrund's Epiphany and then untap and play Professor Onyx or Mordenkainen so that they have some chump blocking protection. And then they start drawing through your library and finding the right cards. And then you start playing Learn cards and making Mascot Exhibitions to try to attack the opponent down. And I think it can get the job done, but we have to see how it does against the slow, grindy treasure decks. Those are a challenge. The gold span decks, of course, those are a challenge. And we still need to draw Doomscar when we go up against white aggro, and we need help against green. So, a lot of questions to be answered because pure control has been playable in this format, but it hasn't taken over. Will this be the deck to do it? We're going to find out today. Today's video is dedicated to Christy on Patreon. Thank you very much for signing up on Patreon. And something that I haven't mentioned, but I did launch on my Patreon. I'll try to drag this over. It's bright. It's blinding. Make it stop. I know. Let me see if my dark reader works here. Better, closer, warmer. So I created a token tier. It's for $29.99. I will sign and send you a CovertGoBlue Shark token anywhere in the world. It is not meant to replace shopping from Cool Stuff Inc. It's meant to provide an option to get a signed token if you live somewhere in the world that Cool Stuff Inc. isn't shipping to. It's expensive, I know, but we are going to put it in at the very least, a priority mail envelope so that hopefully it gets to you faster and doesn't get lost in the mail like first class mail does. We'll have tracking and things like that. We really wanted to make sure that if people sign up for this, they must be big fans. We want to make sure that the token really gets to them. Each one will be lovingly hand-packed by CovertGoGina, my lovely wife. So her time, of course, worth significantly more than even this price tag. Especially, like I said, packed with her love and affection, which is worth significantly more than that. So a deal at any price, truly. But if you live somewhere in the world that doesn't receive Cool Stuff Inc. shipments, this is now a way to get a CGB Shark token. And just to let you know, only available while supplies last, and we've got some things in the work with Cool Stuff Inc., but we are coming to the end of the run of the Shark token. So if you wanted one of these, you're going to have to get on it soon. And thank you very much to everybody who supports me on Patreon. You guys are very cool. All right, it's time to dive in. Let Esper nonsense begin. We go first. This hand does have a few 2-drop options, with Doomscar being among the best. Let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna foretell this. Probably gonna foretell Doomscar, but we'll see. Foretelling Doomscar gives you the most mana back because it's 2 more to cast in the regular cost versus the foretell zone. But we don't have double blue, actually, so maybe it'll make sense to foretell Saw It Coming. We'll see. They're flexing Imrith sleeves. They play a Clearwater Pathway and a Shambling Ghast. Interesting. Actually, don't know if Doomscar will be great, but we'll have Saw It Coming open starting next turn. So let's get this one foretold. Good start for the opponent. We've got a few beaters onto the battlefield. We'll have to chill for a while and take a good amount of it, but we found our Planeswalker to try to set up for later. Grixis. They could attack like this for a long time. Get our life total pretty low while we derp around trying to figure out what to do about them. Foretell. Fun. Alright, we draw Divide by 0. I was going to foretell. I don't know if I should. We might not be able to cast Divide by 0, and we want to hit our next land, so I think if they don't do anything, we need to divide something by 0. It's risky to divide these creatures by 0. They might just play Deadly Dispute. Should be pretty nasty. Then we wouldn't get anything from the divide. So let's wait. Try to get them to put something else on the stack. Okay, they don't have land. Going after this. We'll see if we get punished. We do not get punished. Life is good. Well, we drew land anyway. Do we want third blue? Black, white. We put this on black. Yeah, third blue seems a bit much. Probably another white. So let's go... And we're chilling. And so is our opponent. It's going to be interesting. They have missed land. Can we get them to flinch here? They just go for any kind of expensive play. We can counter into Mordenkainen, and then we're getting ahead. Alright, do we Doomscar and try to sucker them into playing something? I guess so. Not the greatest Doomscar I've ever cast, for sure. But hopefully this means next turn they go for a dragon, we counter it or soul shatter it, untap Planeswalker. It's going to be hard to get Mordenkainen to live, I think, but we've got to start somewhere. They probably have soul shatters and various ways to deal with it. If they don't tap out this turn, we could foretell these and try to set up Mordenkainen protected by Saw It Coming. It's not really what I want to counter, is it? All right, and the beat goes on. Let's start setting up cheap counter spells. We've got Negate, we've got Saw It Coming, we've got Saw It Coming, we've got Soul Shatter. We're doing good. Our opponent's only hitting us for 1. They have access to a good amount of spells, though. I mean, I'm trying to guess this is Grixis Dragons, but who knows? We haven't seen one of the temples or anything. Could be a sacrifice list. Set up a little bit more. I still want to get them to spend some mana on their turn. We counter something there, then we play Mordenkainen with Counterspell open so that Mordenkainen survives a Blood Chief's Thirst or a Soul Shatter. And then maybe we can untap from there with even more counter magic. And that's how we win the game. But our opponent isn't cooperating, are they? Just not playing anything. Oh, your time is now. We could let them have one more treasure, but I think we just counter this way. Let's fight. Here it comes. Yep. Hey, we forced them to use these treasures. That's something. We got the negate for it.
Your tiny mind couldn't possibly grasp my research.
Refuel a little bit. The Goldspan Dragon is 5/6, so not quite killing Mordenkainen. Opponent top deck some land. What are they gonna do? That'll do it. Good lord. Good lord. All the way to the top rope.
You're a fool if you think I'll stay.
Well, that's unfortunate. Let's make sure it dies before they untap. And then we have... oh, we have a good amount of stuff going. Go ahead and get one of these Foretold, since we'd love to play it, and pass it back to the opponent. These Beholds are going to have to reload us and set us back up. The opponent got to deal with the Mordenkainen way cleaner than I wanted them to. Okay, they've got a haul. That's not good. But they don't have a lot of mana, and they need to be able to put their mana into it for it to be effective. We need to learn some more stuff. Another painter? You need the treasure. Okay. We got a verse. Is a verse good? If they have another Inferno, it's good. It also gets rid of the haul, so we'll take it. We will take it. All runs Epiphany. Might get countered. Should probably foretell it and say go. Actually, I think we'll sit from here. They do not power up the hall. I'm just gonna keep picking on me with this painter. They've been comfortable playing the slow game, but eventually that should shift in our favor. We just have more things to do with our mana and more mana to use. Here's Professor some blah blah blah. Resolves. We'll go get another Sciences, because we're still in a phase, like, all of our land is good. So we're still in a phase where we want to get all the land that we can from the deck, as well as the life. And then we can use that later to play the other cards. Black, black. Yeah, we don't have that many things that use black, so we'll just grab another blue. Now we're on 6. And I think that means we can foretell this, or we can just leave 5 open so we have divide and saw it coming or verse. Yeah, let's just chill. Pace your threats. Don't overextend into anything here. We definitely don't want to be in a hurry. We want to get to a world where we can play like Planeswalkers and Epiphanies with the opponent tapped out, either mana-wise or just completely having expended every resource in their hand. If opponent wants to trade, we will take it. They might have another Kalane, but we're getting to where it would be the 4th one. Not very likely. And that alleviates any pressure at all that they had. 1 point a turn usually isn't that much anyway, but hey. Alright. Professor of Sim blah 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 returns. No stick, so no counter magic here. They have 2 cards in hand, very unlikely we can Teachings. Let's go ahead and use Intro to Prophecy. Not in a hurry to cast a Mascot Exhibition in this game. They probably have sweepers. It's one of the easier things for them to deal with, I think. Alright, we pass. If we attack and they power this up, we get to kill it, so let's check them. My turn to attack with 1 annoying creature until you deal with it. What a great opening game. What a great way to start your day. So, everything resolved really easy last turn, but that doesn't mean it would this turn. Let's not go for the Epiphany yet. Patience, patience, patience. Patience as a win con. All the foretell. Because maybe we're going to still be able to divide by 0 and hit Teachings. Deadly Dispute from the opponent, that's their only treasure. Let's go ahead and mess with that. If we grab Teachings here, they'll know, and they'll try to empty their hand, but maybe that's good. Maybe that's a good thing. I mean, Deadly Dispute isn't good at emptying your hand anyway. Kind of draws cards, it's what it does. We do have to take 7 here if they power up. We don't have enough mana to pay for the ward, but that would leave them tapped out. They'd be absolutely smashed after that by the All-Runs Epiphanies. They are really thinking about this one. And think, pass. Okay. May I has new cards? There's Stick this time, but of course they have Hall of Storm Giants available, so makes sense. There's some power. Get them. Lean on them. Make them do something. Okay, so could exile or doomscar this, but I think what we're going to do is play Mordenkainen. We're gonna play All-Run's Epiphany, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's lay this out. 6 mana left. 5 mana left. Okay. Let it go, let it go. You think one of these is a Saw It Coming? We're gonna find out. Alright, so we go for this. See what they do. Resolves. They might be thinking that they want to Deadly Dispute this. So I'm not going to Doomscar. And let that resolve. I'll take both of those. Yep. Yeah, I have a feeling. I have a feeling their plan was we were going to kill it, they were going to deadly dispute it. Come on down, buddy. It's time. That resolved really easy. So we're going to go for this again. And the birds attack. Yay. I was wondering if I would have to regret not making a dog to go for lethal. Gotta do the full rubbins here. Gotta go the distance. Power up. Do we get double giants? Oh baby, double giants and a big puppers. The BM. Yep. Lean on them until they break. It has come to my attention from the 50 billion comments in chat that my camera froze during the last game. Okay, I figured it out for myself. I didn't actually see into the future and see your comments, but I know you already left one. I know. Don't delete it. Don't go try to edit it. Don't hide. I know you. We've been together a long time, you and I. I know exactly what you leave me comments for. All right, game. Let's dance. Doomscar, behold, lovely. Go first. Awesome. Mana, good. Absolute gravy. This deck might be just really sweet. It lacks a lot of the weaknesses, mostly because of Vanishing Verse of the other control decks. Counters plus Vanishing Verse is pretty strong. I do need like things that deal with skeletal swarming, but Allrun's Epiphany is kind of the way out, right? You just plus a few times, you Epiphany a few times and you ultimate your Planeswalker, or you counter it on the way down. I can't believe that skeleton swarming is meta. I know I probably sound like a broken record every day, but it's true. I just can't believe it's meta. I can't believe I have to care about that stupid card. Oh. All right. And some people love that card. Good for them. Good for them. Hello. Thinking about dropping a Your Go. Am I a changed CGB or do I drop that? I don't know, man. All right. God, 2 hellos. 2 of them? What the hell is the matter with you? All right, they have a bunch of cards. Let's grab Teachings. I think we can Teachings for 2 next turn. 3 hellos. 4! There's so many hellos. This is what I think of you. There. 5 hellos. Oh my gosh, our opponent is pogging out of their mind. White, black. What do I need most? I guess I need a lot of blue. And this can be double white. I probably only need 1 black for the foreseeable. So we go to 5 here. We draw 2. We repair our mulligan disadvantage. And get in there for some points. Feels good. We're doing it. This is how we roll. I feel like people who spam emotes at me on Arena, they think they're Roman Reigns. They're just like, acknowledge me. Dude, you're not Roman Reigns. Superman punch. All right. I think we just say go. There's too many things that can go wrong if we foretell. It also reduces our options quite a bit. And I don't want to play Professor of some blah 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 just this right now. Not right now. Need more land. I really think what'll happen is they'll do nothing. We'll cast Behold. They might counter it. If they do, we untap. I guess we go get a land. It's not great, but it's fine. We could also do this. Divide our Professor. It's an interesting play. It doesn't risk the Behold the Multiverse, and it gets us Environmental Sciences, so we don't have to spend too much mana next turn. I like it. We have to make sure we hit our land drop after all. Negate. Oh god, we're at 9. It's a bit too many cards. What do we want? Another black? So we can discard a Doomscar. I don't think they'll matter. We might regret that later if we end up in a battle of Starnheim Unleashed, but I think it's better than tapping out. I think we need options open. Opponent appears to be classic blue-white control. They might have Imrith on the way. Oh, please. Please. You don't have to emote to me every single turn cycle, do you? Maybe they do. How would I know? Looks like we're going to miss a land drop here. But we can foretell a Behold, and then we'll have it to cast if we don't end up countering anything. I don't really want to go for Professor Sciences. Too much mana would be spent that way. Maybe that's okay because we have a negate, but there's always the chance that they just counter the Sciences itself, and then we're left with only 1 mana. They untap and do whatever they want. What they do for 4 or 5 mana, I'm not sure. A lot of question marks. But one card that's absurdly hard to remove is a Cosmos Elixir, and I have run into a few control decks that run that. I've even tried it in a few myself. Like, I'd have no way to get rid of it, you know what I mean? Alright, let's try to get some land. Or get a counter from them. 1 land. Okay, we got an untapped land, that's good. We got another untapped land, that's good. Black, black, blue, blue, white, white. Let's get blue. And now we need to do some foretelling. Start here. And here. With them stuck on mana, 1 counter spell should be good enough. Chatty Cathy. There's always some of you out there. You're like, if you don't like emotes, you should turn them off. That's what you sound like, by the way. That's your real voice. It's content. The interaction and the banter is fun. I may not always like it, because sometimes it's at my expense, but it's still entertaining for many of you. This is the bullet I bite for you guys. You should be appreciating it. I've been rejected? Complete with oops. I've been rejected. I don't know if I can recover from being rejected. You know what? It's fine. I'll just decline. The next one won't work so well. I think I can get away with another foretell here. My god, look at all this. We need to lean on them soon. Thinking, oh my lord. So, Behold. More land. Yeah, I think we're doing okay now. We definitely found the lands. We can force through an Allrun's Epiphany just to have a clock going. And if they let it resolve, we can play a Professor, which they might reject. Yeah, let's find out. Let's lead with the Professor, see if they reject this time. This time I might pay for it. Okay. I think where they're at, we can try for like Exhibition and such, but I'm not positive. I think we can force that through very soon. That'll force them into some tough spots. Go ahead and foretell this. Do we play another one? Nah, reject. Let's not have to lose another Professor to a reject. That was embarrassing. Alright, you have 5 mana. You have Nico Defies Destiny. That gains a little bit of life, doesn't it? Let's not. I've dabbled in foretell control and I've abandoned it every time. Opponent says good game. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty bad, I know. Here comes Professor. Osim blah blah blah. Take it. So if we go for the Mascot Exhibition, they counter it, we force it through, we untap Doomscar, it's not very good. But if we go for the Epiphany, we still have mana for a Saw It Coming. I think we can just put too much pressure on them, possibly even close the game with the Haul. Okay, let that resolve. All right, let's see if you want to counter this. It's getting uglier. Uglier and uglier. You want to tap out? You could die a hideous death if you tap out. Look how many lands we got compared to them. But that's why we learn. So we have Environmental Sciences. That's why we have Behold the Multiverse. Although I'm sure they'd play it if they could have. This is the lethal one. So you gotta do something. And it isn't going to work, because my Saw It Comings are shinier than yours. And bring a Giant Flex. Finish the job. Doing it. Here we are. So, Professor Sim blah blah blah, Saw It Coming, Vanishing Verse. Pretty good. Our first appearance by Professor Hottie today. But also our first time on the draw today. Will it also be our first time against aggro? More Shambling Gas. Okay. Vanishing Verse is uncastable until we get a different color of land. Eye Twitch, I would love to verse that. Can we get a different color? No, we cannot. All right, let's go get Environmental Sciences and set up. Not really the trade I want, is it? Don't think so. So, do you think they have Deadly Dispute? I think there's a good chance they have Deadly Dispute. If we play this, we can't play Saw It Coming. I don't think they'll have anything on turn 4 I need to counter that way, though. Let's have this available and just say go. And we can divide something by 0, potentially, depending what they do. They might just power up Haven. A lot of turn 4 Haven powering up in these formats. Do we check for a Deadly Dispute, guys? Doesn't sound like the worst idea. Let's find out. Okay, no Deadly Dispute this time. I'm trying to think of what that tells us about their hand. Decent amount of lands. The cards we might be scared of, like Swarming. Okay. Let's hold this back. If they do discover that they can just power up Haven and beat us up, we're going to have trouble. So we have to be ready to take every chump block that we can. There's Lulth. All right. I think that's our first counter of the day. We could also Vanishing Verse it, but I don't know what I'd do about the spiders. Let's get the Stroke used. And now what? We'll have 5 mana. Think we can Sciences this turn? Guess that's going to be black. Alright, so then what are we fetching? Another blue, I suppose. Usually do need triple blue pretty quick. We're getting to Professor Onyx, although Professor Onyx will probably die. I think there's a good chance of Soul Shatter. So we might want to hold her until we have more mana. She can also gain a lot of life, which can be important for the tempo of this match. There's a skeleton swarming. Let's divide it by 0. And what are there? 4 cards in hand. We're going to go to 4. We go to 5. We play 1. We go to 4. Yeah, we can teachings here. Cards, cards, cards. So, probably using a counter on the swarming. They probably have another one. They probably have a hand loaded with this stuff. If we play Professor Onyx, they'll probably use something to kill it. But I guess we might find a counter for the swarming. If they use it to land the swarming and we untap from there, we'll probably just win with Alrund's Epiphany, so they might be greedy. Let's go for it. We might also find Mordenkainen or something else.
New job.
None of that is really what I wanted to find, but it gets us closer to the good stuff anyway.
I have impeccable study habits.
So they'll probably play like Binding or Soul Shatter here. But they don't get to swarm. We didn't find another counterspell yet, though. That's disturbing. Yeah, really none of those were what we're looking for. Oof. Okay. It looks like it's going to be the hard way. So if they tap out for swarming and it resolves, we'll have another turn to play Epiphany, so we should try to build a board here. Let's exile their Eye Twitch. Let's attack with Professor. Play other Professor. Go get Introduction. See if we can find something good. Okay, cool. Spamming Epiphanies if they tap out here is the plan. Okay, ouch. Don't like that. Don't like that. We could still spam the Epiphanies, though, or we could take a chunk out of our opponent. Let's see, 1, 2, 16. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 12. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 1. We get them to 1. Facing a haul that they can't really deal with. If they tap out to kill the birds, they lose. I think that's good enough. Yeah, that's good enough to win. I don't know how they're going to recover from that. Maybe Blood on the Snow, but they don't have the mana for it quite yet. Hold this up. Not really useful. We'll just foretell. Say go. All right, what do you got? You're at 5. They do find the land. Okay, they could Blood on the Snow. But do we have enough to Doomscar our way through it? They're just gonna get Lulth, right? Yeah. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think we still got this. I think we've still got it. Hall of the Storm Giants, baby. What a card. We go for the Eye Twitch, sure. We're gonna make spiders. Be all warm and squishy. Go boom, boom, boom. Doomscar. And look at that. Who says I can't beat down with this deck? Huh? Who says I can't figure out how to beat down? Get in there. Excellent. Somebody's got a bigger diamond than me? I'm gonna take that diamond. On the draw, no Doomscar. Scary. Can't really turn it away, though. The mana's pretty good. Hopefully it's still a slow matchup. We haven't played against aggro at all today. Okay, game over. We can retire. GG, everybody. That was, that's brutal. Oh, Luminarch, Ass Pirate. What's the fetch? Probably just more sciences? Maybe I'm supposed to actually loot away like one of these cards because they're just not going to be any good. It's going to take too long to do everything. Ooh, they haven't done much actually. We're going to get him 4 here. I think we save the Professor because we're going to bounce the Luminarch. You are divided by 0. We're just gonna grab exhibitions. That's what it's gonna take. We're gonna need blockers. I'm also gonna hold this. I mean, I guess, wait, do I want them to just power up and hit me for 5? I do, don't I? That would be fine. Yeah, let's get him for 2. If they spend their turn hitting me for 5, that's fine. Here they come. Here they come, indeed. Useless counterspell. If we pass with 4 mana open, they're definitely going to punish us by just powering up Haven and kicking our face in. So we're just gonna be hold. That's okay, but what we really, really need is Doomscar. We're gonna have to discard. There's just no chance. No chance for Saw It Coming in this matchup. Looks like they're gonna reach for Haven anyway. I mean, if it's wrong, it's not wrong by much. Guiding Voice, huh? Reduced memory. Weird. Down to 8. 3 for 5. Yeah. How do we block or stop 2 things? If we go up to 10, we're not quite dead. So I guess we're gonna have to go to 10. Exile. Not sure what I could draw though. We're still another 2 turns from Mascot Exhibition. Oh, well, yeah, that'll do. Way to go. That was embarrassing. All right, that was a no Doomscar type game against Mono White. Not really a contest. No blue mana and all blue cards. And on the draw. I feel like the magic gods have turned against me. How quickly everyone can turn against you. All right. No white mana, only 2 white cards, and divide by 0 can get sciences, but it's asking a lot. It's asking a lot of the deck. Can we get there? Let's find out. Black-green. Usually a little slow. Seems a long way from using this Doomscar, huh? Alright, don't do anything too impressive this turn. Give me a chance. Faceless Haven actually is really good. That's pretty good. Right? Doing that now? Yeah, that was a pretty awesome turn. Everything about that was brutal. Well, we draw a white. Do we divide this now? To make sure that we actually get our card? The opponent could really punish us with a 5 mana play that we have trouble interacting with, so we'll say go. Alright, they don't get to Haven us yet. 1 point. Cool. Callous Blood Mage. Send it back. 4 cards in their hand, would be 5 in mine. Let's grab Sciences. Fix our mana. Warlock class. Ugh. Annoying, but probably fine. I feel like we're going to have to Wrath this, but I don't know when to actually foretell a Doomscar. Very tough. This is very tough. Our hand is hella awkward. Alright. Just going to send it off. I think that what's going to happen is this Warlock class is going to burn a hole in their pocket, so they're going to feel like they have to activate that. Then they play the Callous Blood Mage. So we'll see. Yep. Behold, level 2 Warlock class. Ooh, they ditch a Haven. I was gonna say it has to be another Haven. This gets rid of the Skullport Merchant, which is a big problem. And leaves up mana to cast Saw It Coming if they go for a 5 or 6 mana play. Innkeeper, I am not afraid of. Alright, more of the little dorks. White, I guess we need another black. I think we say go here and leave all options open. See what the opponent does. Just please don't discover that Haven is a good play. Just don't Haven. Those cards produce so much pressure. And once they figure out they can get in, they just start doing it every single turn. And then we die so much faster. Shambling Ghast is hiding. They're afraid of the Hall? They go for the Lolth, okay. Well, let's send it back. At least it uses a lot of their mana. They might do that again next turn. They have 4 cards in hand. I'll have to draw... I guess I can foretell and do this. If I do that, it's risky. Yeah, let's just grab more land. We have another Divide by 0 to do the teachings. Alright, I think we take an opportunity here to foretell and pass. Another Warlock class, okay. So, at the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, each opponent loses 1 life. That stacking can be a lot. What else you got? If they do nothing, we get Behold. Do I care about that? Do I care about that? I don't know. I mean, it is a good little chunk of mana. Alright. Teachings. If they activate the Warlock class, we might get 3 cards off this Teachings. It looks like they're going to do it, but maybe it's to hit their land. We'll see. We will see. Two Culling Rituals to the bin. Those blow up Warlock class, right? Okay. Man, I don't get these decks. Alright, that might let us do it anyway. Maybe I'll play one some point, just cuz, but... Alright, foretell you. Draw with you. Still only 2 cards. I thought I might get 3. Maybe if I read the card, I'd be better at this. Alright, we need to find those Alrund's Epiphanies. We've moved about a third of our deck. Oh, they found Haven. No! All right, the real clock begins. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Still holding back the gas. Very afraid. If they play the Blood Mage here, do I counter it? I don't think so. I think we try to behold. See what the opponent does here. All right. We're looking for epiphanies. Are we looking for more learn cards? I guess we can start spamming Mascot Exhibition, right? We're actually in the zone where that's possible. Multiple epiphanies now. So we need to get them exerted. We need to get them overextended. How do we do it? Play a couple of professors. Grab a couple of exhibitions, right? Yeah, we don't need multiple exhibitions, I don't think. We'll also grab an Intro to Prophecy. We'll play this tapped. Say go. That way we can hopefully chain a third epiphany in there. And now we just got to get them to exert themselves, to extend. Tap out most of their creatures, most of their mana. And we go from there. Hey, why don't you... I've got it. Why don't you level 3 a Warlock class? Huh? Huh? Sound fun? Counter that. So far, though, they have not attacked very often. Like, they are playing really conservative. Deadly Brew, which says each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker and return a permanent. Sure. You got it. You got it. But we got them tapped out. I'm really curious if they'll attack here. They're going to kill this professor. Do they get aggressive? They don't know we're an Epiphany deck at this phase. They're going to hold back the Innkeeper. Of course they are. Of course they are. All right. To the bottom, we'll keep the card draw. It's fun. Got another Saw It coming, which means untapping the Mascot Exhibition sounds possible. We got a Doomscar. Oh, man. 10 mana. Play this. Play this. Counter something, then untap Epiphany. Am I going to die in the meantime? Don't think so. Let's do it. They probably have a lot of ways to deal with creatures, but they might be expensive sweepers, and they might not be able to double spell them. So one counter might get us to the next turn. And if we untap with a board presence, the odds of us actually going the distance is so much better. Beginning of your end step. If a creature died, lose 2. Yeah, it's a pain. All right. Got a counter Lulth here. Warlock class. Owie. But I think this is it. I think we've got this. But we'll see. A lot can go wrong. They're going to attack because if we block, we lose a lot of life. So we're not going to do that. There's Mordenkainen. All right. Do we want to... We want to force this to block, right? Or we just want it out of the way? We just want it out of the way. Bring it. Chumps the 4/4? No way. There you go. Down to 15. Now we show them what their doom is going to look like. And again. Miss Lethal? Nah. What I didn't miss was an opportunity to BM. And we are back for the post-game wrap-up, and let's check the stats powered by Untapped.gg. Download link in description and at the deck list. 6-1 in 58 minutes and 50 seconds. It's not a very fast deck, but it can get the job done, and it's actually been rolling through Diamond for me. So I really think it might be the better way to go to control. Maybe this is the control list that we've been looking for that doesn't have to run the Shambling Ghast and the Merchant and the Kaya. You know, what is it? The Blood on the Snow package. Like, you've seen that deck a good amount. Maybe this is something that can compete with it. The thing that I learned the most from today's video and just from playing this deck here and there, really time your epiphanies. your epiphanies have a very important job to do. They make sure that you can actually win the game. And in the matchups against the non-blue kind of mid-range to control decks, basically call them the skeletal swarming decks, even if they don't run that card. You just need to time your epiphanies for the right time, and you can usually win the game from there. Also placing your counter spells well, and making sure you have enough mana and flexibility, getting all your lands onto the battlefield, and bringing the boom with all the Storm Giants. So the timing's everything. I think patience is a win con. You guys know, if they made CGB shirts, that is probably what would go on them. Patience is a win con, and this deck definitely tries your patience, and if you're down for that kind of challenge, then I think you should absolutely play it. It's a really fun deck. Any changes I would make? Maybe those people always tell me, run like reduce to memory in the sideboard and stuff like that, and I still just think that running those cards is signing up to lose the game, because you could be getting more effective things. But if you're a person who likes a security blanket that can deal with things like Cosmos Elixir or a skeletal swarming that's on the battlefield, run a reduce to memory in your sideboard, maybe take out the Introduction to Prophecy, and you can go from there. Me, I'm good without it. I fly without a net, man. No security blanket, just pure value, up and down and all around. That's how we do it here. All right, quick reminder, the token tier on Patreon. If you live in a place that can't get one of these shark tokens and you want one sent to you autographed straight from the dojo, then you can join the $29.99 month tier. And if you need to cancel after that, that's totally understandable. But if you keep it, you will also be one of the first to receive any new cool tokens that I get my hands on. They do have to send them to me, or I have to find ways to get the things for you, but hopefully there'll be something for you guys in the future if you stay on the tier. But you're also welcome to cancel after you get your shark token. That's totally legit, I understand. But it's really, again, it's designed for those who are living in a place in the world where Cool Stuff Inc. doesn't ship to them. So if you want to get in there, it's while supplies last. We've only got a limited number, and I would love to hook you up with it. And just a hint, we got something new in the works, but we might be nearing the end of the era of the CGB Shark token, so it's about to become a very collectible item. Anyway, on that note, thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. You're cool.
You